Mahirap ma-enjoy ang isang puppy na tuwing sasalubong sa'yo or tuwing palalabasin mo sa kanyang crate or sa kanyang kulungan at habang nakikipaglaro ka sa kanya ay sobrang nai-excite at nagsisimulang mag-play bite or mangagat. Sometimes you're busy doing stuff at home or you might be resting when your puppy then decides to nip at your ankles or pull at your clothes. Play biting is one of the most frustrating puppy behaviors for which new puppy owners frequently ask for help. Masakit siya, nakakainis at minsan medyo nakakatakot na rin. So let's address this problem today. And towards the end of the video, I'll talk about what you need to do if you do get bitten by your puppy. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Marose. I'm a veterinarian and dog behavior consultant. So play biting happens at various degrees in different puppies. Some puppies hardly bite at all, while for others, play biting is a very brief phase that is manageable and that the puppy quickly grows out of. But at times, the puppy will be particularly excitable and very nippy, and may even inflict some hard bites that can rip clothing, break the skin, and possibly draw some blood. It might also seem that the play biting is getting worse over time. So if that sounds like your puppy, here's what I recommend you do. So in a previous video, I talked about addressing house soiling and potty training in your puppy. And in there, I described a behavior change formula that can be applied to different problem behaviors. Pero baka sabihin mo naman, may pa-formula ka pa, Doc. Di ba pwedeng pagalitan na lang or paluin yung puppy every time na nangangagat siya? Harsh physical punishment, yun ang palo, may at times seem to work, pero pwede din na kaysa mapakalma mo yung puppy, ay lalo lang ma-hyper yung puppy mo. Because screaming and raising your voice at your puppy can make a puppy even more excitable. Kung minsan naman, it could make the puppy become fearful of you or even aggressive towards you or towards other family members na delikado, lalo na kung may mga bata kang kasama sa bahay na nag-handle din kuminsan dun sa puppy. Pero chances are wala din naman sa loob mo na pagalitan ng ganun ka-harsh yung puppy mo. Aww. So let's try a more proactive approach instead of a reactive one. So balik tayo sa ating behavior change formula. So to achieve behavior change from a undesirable behavior to a desirable behavior, you have to prevent or manage the undesirable behavior. You have to direct away from the undesirable behavior towards the desirable behavior. And you have to actively teach the desirable behavior and reward it. So ano ba yung undesirable behavior in this case? So ito na nga yung play biting, no? Yung problem behavior. Pero ano naman yung desirable behavior? Yung gusto nating kapalit sana ng play biting. So you may be thinking you'd like your puppy to just be quiet and calm and not be active at all, but that just isn't fair to ask of an energetic puppy. It's really like asking an athlete or a very energetic person to be stuck doing office work for hours on end. So for the alternative desirable behavior, it's more appropriate and realistic to have the puppy play with you in appropriate ways so that he can still have an outlet for his youthful energy. So now that we've identified the undesirable behavior and the alternative desirable behavior that should replace it, we can apply our plan. So first, how can we prevent the puppy from randomly play biting us when we are not ready to actively supervise and play with the puppy just yet? Just like with our house soiling problem, the solution is in confining the puppy or restricting the puppy's movements, especially during unsupervised times. So of course, confinement should fulfill these requirements. The puppy should be confinement conditioned, and also the confinement space has to be safe, secure, and comfortable for the puppy. And because we're dealing with a hyperactive, energetic, play-biting puppy, let's also add here the requirement that the puppy should also be given adequate mental and physical stimulation before entering any confinement period. This will help the puppy settle down while in confinement, especially if you've put the time in to really condition the puppy for being confined. So details of confinement conditioning are not covered in this video. But if you want guidance on how to get the puppy used to being confined, or if you need help with other naughty puppy behaviors, you're very welcome to schedule an appointment with me. Pwede mag-schedule ng appointment na online or on-site. The link is in the video description. So the puppy is now contained and cannot randomly come up to you to start play biting you or other people in the house. Of course, di naman pwede na nakakulong na lang forever ang puppy. So now let's figure out how to direct the puppy away from play biting and towards proper play. So when you're ready to let the puppy outside of confinement, first guide the puppy to his potty area, which ties in with our potty training steps. So you can review those steps in this video. So your puppy might be excited to come out of confinement and want to skip the potty break and go straight to play. So be ready for that and have a toy at hand. So for playtime, first, make sure you have ways to control your puppy in case he does get overexcited and starts to play bite. So you might guide him to a puppy-proofed room or exercise pen so that you can step out of this area when you need to escape puppy teeth. Or you can keep an indoor leash on your puppy so you can take hold of the leash and hold him away from you when he gets a little nippy and until he calms down. If you're like many new puppy owners, you may not know how to properly play with your puppy. Proper play that keeps the puppy interested and engaged really makes all the difference. So here are some play tips. First, prepare the right toys. So you have a variety of toys available based on your puppy's preference. These could be tug toys or fetch toys. Your puppy may also have a preference for the hardness, softness, or texture of a toy. And you can watch this video for more detailed descriptions and suggestions for toys for your pup. Next, you want to make sure you engage your puppy and actually play with your puppy. So keep in mind that anytime your puppy is outside of confinement, you have to actively supervise and actively engage him, especially if you have a very energetic pup. So when I say that you should play with your puppy, I mean that you need to really interact with him. So wag lang palabasin yung puppy, tapos patakbuhin siya sa malaking space, tapos bigyan siya ng mga toys, tapos asahan mo na maglaro na lang siya mag-isa. Isa pa, mas maganda kung ikaw ang magsimula or magyaya sa puppy na maglaro. So be the one to initiate the play at regular intervals throughout the day. So one of the reasons why puppies play bite is because they're asking for attention and interaction with you. And so the puppy will often learn that play biting behavior really pays off because once he play bites you, that's when he can get you moving. That's when you react to him, and that's when you start interacting with him. And so when you start playing with him only whenever he starts biting, then you're actually rewarding the play biting behavior and making it stronger and more likely to repeat because it becomes your puppy's go-to behavior for how to fulfill his need for play. So think of your puppy like a little volcano. Di ba ang vulkan, pag hindi nakalabas yung mga gases and lava na naipon sa loob niya, dadating ang panahon, mag-i-erupt yan. So similarly, your puppy has to be given an outlet for his accumulated puppy energy at regular intervals to avoid eruptions of uncontrolled hyperactivity and play biting. Therefore, to get ahead of the play biting, you have to be the one to relieve the pressure or relieve the energy. Dapat maunahan mo na maipon yung puppy energy at bago ito sumabog in the form of play biting. So you have to be the one to start the play so that you can direct what kind of play will happen and what the rules are. So ibig sabihin, after resting time, be the one to wake your puppy up instead of waiting for him to cry out and play bite for attention. Or pagkagising ng puppy, be ready to start an activity with him right away, or while the puppy is calmly chewing on a chew toy, you can encourage him to get up and play with you. And now this is the third part of the formula where you teach your puppy how to play appropriately. Also important is that your play is structured. So what should playing with your puppy look like? So first, the toys should come from you, meaning that in between playtimes, you should keep the toys, or play toys especially, keep them away and out of reach of your puppy. A few chew toys that are safe for the puppy to tear into can be left with the puppy when he's alone in confinement, but all other toys should be kept out of reach. So keeping play toys preserves the value of the toys. So hindi siya napagsasawaan. And in your puppy's eyes, it builds you up as the controller of resources. So remember, only bring out play toys when you are ready to actually play with your puppy. Some good games to play with your puppy are, of course, fetch and tug. But make sure you teach your puppy some rules as well. So, for instance, you shouldn't grab the toy out of your hand unless he's given permission to do so. He should bring the toy back instead of playing, keep away, or running away with the toy. And he should also release the toy when you ask for it. Also, while he can put teeth on the toy, he shouldn't put teeth on your bare skin and on your clothing. So most importantly, when playing with your pup, make the toy come alive. Many new puppy owners tell me that even though they have a play biter, they say their puppy isn't interested in playing with toys. But actually, the real problem is that the owners don't know how to engage their puppy using toys. So the puppy gets bored with them and doesn't take interest in them or the toy that they're waving in front of the puppy's face. So don't let the toy be boring. Move it around on the floor, run with it, dangle it behind you. Make the toy look like a little prey animal that the puppy will be driven to stalk and hunt. Now, just in case your puppy does get a little over aroused when you start playing together, freeze and see if the puppy picks up on your body language and starts to calm down. But if he's still jumping, even after you've frozen, and still starts play biting, you may decide to pick up the indoor leash that he has on and hold him at arm's length away until he calms down. After which you can choose to resume playing. But if he's still not calming down, you may need to step out of the play area, which should be puppy proofed. Or as quickly and as calm as you can, bring your puppy back to confinement. We can go into the details of how to properly play and teach your puppy play rules in a different video. So sabi natin, dapat ma-reward yung puppy for proper behavior. Ano nga ba yung reward? So you can give the puppy a treat for biting on the toy, but even just playing and being able to engage and spend time with you is the reward in itself. And it's one of the best rewards that you can give to a play-driven puppy. On top of that, your puppy should see that playing inappropriately with you and biting you causes the play to stop, which is something the puppy definitely doesn't want. For socialization purposes, yes, your puppy can occasionally play with other family dogs or with other puppies, pero wag lang yun yung aasahan mo para maubos yung energy ng puppy mo. Not only are you missing out on the opportunity for some good bonding time between you and your puppy, but also if play with other dogs and puppies is very unstructured and very uncontrolled, it could expose your pup to traumatic experiences and to learning undesirable behaviors. So following this plan, you should be able to prevent and control play biting because you are proactively directing your puppy's energy towards the more desirable behavior of properly playing with you. And if you stick with this routine and regularly play with your puppy or engage him in other ways, such as through structured socialization exercises or training for tricks, or teaching him home manners and obedience, which we'll talk about in other videos, you'll find that your puppy will not be given to play biting or other hyperactive outbursts as much, or even at all. And you'll have a much better relationship with your puppy. And your puppy should be easier to calm down and settle down. And he'll learn to wait for you to play with him rather than demand for attention and play in inappropriate ways. Of course, every puppy will be different, and you may need to adjust the plan according to what works specifically for your puppy. So if you need help, you're welcome to schedule a consultation, like I mentioned, and you could consider enrolling in one of my courses as well, which would be a great way to provide additional mental and physical stimulation for your energetic pup. Now, despite your best efforts to regularly play with your pup, there's still, of course, the chance that he might still play bite and accidentally hurt you. So anong dapat gawin pag nakagat ka ng puppy? First, contain your puppy and make sure he's safe and secure. Wash the wound thoroughly with soap and water, and then disinfect the wound with alcohol as well. So you can apply an antibacterial ointment also if you have some available, and then of course consult a doctor as soon as you can, and share the circumstances of the bite and health history of your pup. So keep an eye on your puppy's health, especially for the next 7 to 10 days after getting bitten. Tandaan, sa doktor ng tao po tayo magpapakonsulta tungkol sa kagat ninyo. At kung kailangan, sa kanila din kayo magpapaturok ng laban sa rabies. Ang veterinarian naman ang pwedeng mag-assess sa health ng puppy ninyo. Pero kailangan ko lang din banggitin dito na hindi totoo na pinapanganak ang aso na may rabies. Hindi yan kamandag na kagaya ng venom ng ahas, no? So if your puppy is healthy and well cared for and hindi pa gala-gala, at lalo na kung may bakuna siya laban sa rabies, then it's very unlikely that your puppy is rabies positive. So hindi automatic na porket makagat ka ng puppy mo ay makahawaan ka ng rabies. Pero dahil mataas ang incidence ng rabies dito sa Philippines, most medical doctors will immediately advise that you do get post-bite shots to be safe. So sundin nyo na lang kung ano yung advice ng doktor ninyo. So I hope you found all that information helpful, and hopefully I've been able to help you resolve your puppy play biting problem. So if you have questions, please feel free to send me an email or leave a comment below. For next week, I'll talk about how I would address indiscriminate, destructive puppy chewing. So before I sign off, I just want to share that Feb 14, 2025 marks the 14th year of me working with clients and their dogs, providing behavior advice and coaching clients with their training. Maraming salamat sa mga clients or students ko. Thank you for trusting me to guide you on your dog training journey with your dogs. And I'm certainly far from perfect, but over the years, I have been striving to continuously learn and improve to serve you and your pups better. And I hope it really shows. So thank you again, everyone, for the trust. I'm very, very grateful.
Hooray!
Till next time then. Happy Valentine's. Bye.